Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of my YouTube channel. Now, even though I talked a little bit about this in yesterday's video, yesterday's episode, in regards to my thoughts on the new Fantastic Four movie teaser trailer, but I decided to get in more depth and more detail about as to why I'm a huge fan of Marvel's first family, the Fantastic Four. Now, to reiterate what I did say yesterday in regards to that, was that my first exposure to the Fantastic Four was through the 1967 animated series, in which I watched reruns of countless times on Boomerang. And that was really my first exposure to not only the Fantastic Four, but to the Marvel side of superheroes in my life. My first ever exposure to the Marvel Comics franchise. And from that point on, from the Fantastic Four, I was able to eventually get into Spider-Man, the X-Men, the Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America, all that good stuff. And, I pretty much owe a lot of my fandom of the Marvel Comics franchise to the Fantastic Four. Because, after doing some research, the Fantastic Four did help set up the foundation for what the Marvel Universe ended up becoming. Hold on one second. It ended up setting up what the Marvel Comics franchise would end up. What, Dad? Okay. Ended up going to what they ended up becoming during the Silver Age of comics, or as another period of time. I'm going all over the place. I'm sorry. Ended up setting up the foundation for the Marvel Age of Heroes during the Silver Age of comic books, and helping Marvel transition from Timely Comics to Marvel Comics. And the Fantastic Four to me have one of the best set of villains in all of comics and fiction. Yes, Doctor Doom's a pretty good villain. Yes, we all know this. I know he hasn't been done all that great in the movies so far, but I do understand that he is their most famous, he's their most iconic, and their most beloved villain. But they have other great villains like the Skrulls, especially Kl'rt, the Super Skrull, who has all the powers of the Fantastic Four, but is supposedly at higher levels. You have Paibok. You have Maximus the Mad, who's usually the arch rival of the Inhumans, especially his brother, Black Bolt. You have Psycho Man, you have Annihilus, you have Blastar, you have Dragon Man, you have the Puppet Master, who happens to be the stepfather-in-law of Ben Grimm, now that he married Puppet Master's stepdaughter, Alicia Masters. Thank you, Marvel, for that shit. You have the Mole Man, who was the first villain the Fantastic Four ever faced. You have the Molecule Man. You have the Miracle Man. You have the Fantastic Four have a lot of really interesting and good villains. The Red Ghost and the Super Apes. They're a pretty damn good of cast of villains. The Fantastic Four have a great rogues gallery, in my opinion. But what makes the Fantastic Four so interesting to me is that they all got their powers. Unlike a lot of superhero teams, each member has their own origin. If you look at the Justice League, Superman, a Martian Manhunter, or aliens. Wonder Woman's Amazonian demigoddess. Aquaman's a son of a human lighthouse keeper and an Atlantean princess, if not queen. Barry Allen was a forensic scientist that became super incredibly fast and powerful when he was struck by lightning while being dosed with chemicals at the same time. And Al Jordan became Green Lantern because he was given a ring by a dying intergalactic space patrol officer. So when you look at the Fantastic Four, they all got their powers the same way. And yes, if you haven't noticed, they were Marvel's response to DC's Justice League of America. And when the Fantastic Four first premiered in the very first issue of their comic series, they were extremely beloved, they were extremely popular, and they did quite well. As a matter of fact, they still have their own ongoing series, which makes me, as a fan of them, very happy. It makes me see that there are people out there like myself who not only love and respect the Fantastic Four, but appreciate them. I think the Fantastic Four are probably one of the most underappreciated group of characters in fictional history. I think they've been underappreciated because, I wouldn't say just because of the movie, but because of people's ignorance and obnoxiousness. I don't think people really bothered to give them a chance. I think they're great characters. What makes them special, Hopefully, Brave New World is a good movie, Curly Norman. I hope it's a good movie. But Fantastic Four does look great. I hope Brave New World looks great. I mean, I just hope, both for the record, I hope both movies look great, to be brutally honest. But, um, But for the record, I really want the Fantastic Four to be given the proper respect that they deserve. Anyone who calls them C-listers should be slapped because they are A-listers. They are one of the most famous and iconic teams in all of comics and fiction. I mean, when you think of Marvel, one of the things that comes to your mind, aside from the Avengers and the X-Men, is the Fantastic Four. I mean, that's what you think about when you think of Marvel when it comes to teams. And they are that famous, they are that iconic, they are that legendary of a team in comics. And Reed, my favorite member of the FF is Ben Grimm. It's not because he's the muscle, but because I found him most interesting, most compelling, and in some aspects, the most tragic. This is a guy that for years was unable to transform back into his human form until his godchildren, Franklin and Naveri, gave him a serum that was able to make him transform back to his normal form for once a year. So that gives Ben some type of peace, some type of happiness to be with someone that he loves, i.e., Alicia Masters. But he is a great character. They're all great. Johnny Storm, Susan Richards, who's probably, if not arguably, the most powerful member of the Fantastic Four. And you got, without question, the smartest man in Marvel Comics history in Reed Richards. I know a lot of people like to diss him because of his elastic and stretchy abilities, but I never really had an issue with stretching powers, but that's just me personally. But what makes Reed Richards so good is his intelligence. Reed is one of the smartest superheroes of all time. Like, if there was like a top 100 list or a top 10 list of smartest superheroes, Reed's got to be up there. Reed's definitely got to be up there. As a matter of fact, you can argue he's smarter than Batman. Matter of fact, I think he is. I think Batman's IQ is like 192, 193. Well, Reed Richards like over 260, like 267 or some shit. It's fucking crazy. Hey, King Jimmy, what's happening, bud? Did you ever have a Stretchy Armstrong toy? No, I never did. No, I never did. I'm sure you probably did, Curly Norman. I'm sure you did. But I didn't know. But yeah, I have no issue. I mean, I like Monkey D. Luffy. I like Plastic Man. I like Elastigirl from The Incredibles. There's a lot of cool character. Martian Manhunter has stretchy elastic abilities. South Philly, what's happening? Be right back, fellas. Gonna get me something to drink. Not that I'm complaining. Oh, as long as we stop. I just farted in Charles' honor. Cheers. Drinking Pepsi, by the way, not beer. Son of a bitch, I'm not playing you yet. Stop it. Go back off. No beer for me until after work. Hey, no problem, man. No, we don't have. Well, my family stopped buying Coke because of their liberal politics, but I prefer Coke over Pepsi. But I do like me some Pepsi though. In case you're wondering, Curly Norman. But yeah. Wish X-Men would have. I think they're going to. I think they are going to, Bill M. I think they're going to in future X-Men films. But the Gambit we saw in Deadpool Wolverine was great. Granted, Channing Tatum did a terrible job speaking as Gambit, which I love. It was part of the running gag, but great seeing him in action, though. He was awesome seeing him in action, though. Oh, speaking of Fantastic Four 2005, I have the DVD of it right here. I'll tell you a true story. My brother, after we went to the theater back when it came out in 2005, after we saw the movie, my brother, I shit you not, had a massive obsession over Jessica Alba. I mean, can you blame him? She is pretty freaking hot. And my brother had a massive obsession over Jessica Alba for a while. A pretty good while, I would add. Let's see who's home right now. Can't be Daddy. Just went out. Oh, dude. I'm a Gambit Cyclops guy. Cyclops is good too. I'm skeptical. Why would everyone? Look, I don't want to sound like a dick, but Pedro Pascal's a great actor. I think he could pull it off. I really think he could pull off Reed Richards. He may not have the look, but he can play the part, in my opinion. I think he's a great actor. I think Pedro Pascal could do a great Reed Richards. Look, to me, the best Reed Richards we've ever had on the big screen was Leon Gruffeld from the Tim Story Fantastic Four films. Back in 2005 and 2007, he was an excellent Reed Richards. Dana, what's up, buddy? Pascal is being overused. Yeah, that's kind of true, but he is a great actor. You can't deny his greatness. Like, they overused the shit out of Troy Baker in a lot of voice acting roles. He's still great. They just overused the shit out of him. Ed, come over here. Yes, no, the boogeyman. Yes, you. Tell my fans that you had an obsession with Jessica Alba after we saw this movie in theaters.
I kind of did. Yes, I did. That's true.
See, my brother told you. Charles, which do you prefer, DC or Marvel? First time here. I like them both. When it comes to their comics and stuff, I love them both equally. I know there are people who prefer DC. I know there are people who prefer Marvel. But when it comes to their comics, well, pretty much in general, I love them both equally. Yes, I know Marvel's live-action movies have been better, even though they've been a bit inconsistent at times. And when it comes to animated project, DC usually kicks ass. But when in general, I like them both equally. No bullshit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I fell in love with Alba in the movie Idle Hands. What the fuck is that? Idle Hands. Son of a bitch. I hate it when this does that. Root beer Nate is my favorite beer and my favorite soda. Oh. Interesting. My favorite comic was when Spider-Man, not that comic, not in the movies. What do you mean dumb crap in the movies? I guess you don't like the movies. I mean, how they met in Captain America Civil War was pretty good too, but my favorite comic was when Spider-Man met Captain America. I heard it's a horror comedy, Carly Newman. I just looked it up. I heard it's a horror comedy. The comic was better. I'm understand that, but comics are usually better than the movies. That I will not argue. But when it comes to Captain America Civil War, it's way better than a comic. I read the Civil War comic. It sucked to me. I did not like that comic. But no, I'm always a huge fan of Captain America. I'm glad you spoke about Captain America, King Jamie. I consider him to be a great character. I love the movies too. Just with the comic, it's in my head more. Hey, no worries, King Jamie. It's all good in the hood, baby. It's all good in the hood. No harm, no foul. Chris Evans, look, I think a lot of people really don't look at Chris Evans as a good actor. I think he's a good actor. The fact that he did a really good job as Johnny Storm in the Tim Story Fantastic Four films, and that he did a really good job portraying a more serious character in Captain America, goes to show he's a good actor. Plus, the guy that's currently portraying Johnny Storm in the MCU. What the fuck is his name? Joseph Quinn, I think. The guy that's playing Johnny Storm right now in the MCU grew up, loved Chris Evans' portrayal. I love Cap. Gotta be one of my favorites. Oh, he's one of my favorites too. I'll say was that fuck. Joseph Quinn, the actor that's currently playing Johnny Storm in the MCU, especially the upcoming Fantastic Four film, First Steps, he said he loved Chris Evans' portrayal of Johnny Storm. And I don't blame him because Chris Evans did such a fucking great job. And it was great seeing him back as Johnny Storm in Deadpool and Wolverine. That was one of the best parts of the fucking film. Yeah, it sucked. He got killed. Spoiler alert for those who haven't seen the movie. Eddie from Stranger Things is Johnny Storm. Yeah, and it's Storm with an O, not with a U, Curly Norman, but I get what you're saying. Captain America's been one of my favorite superheroes since I was a child. I may do a video why I love. Well, Nate, it is my channel. The actor? Well, Anthony Mackie is a very good actor. He's playing Sam Wilson. Sam Wilson, the Falcon, the original Falcon, is now Captain America in the MCU. And from what I've seen, he's a good actor. He's done other movies. One of the movies I saw him in prior to the MCU was Real Steel, the boxing robot movie with Hugh Jackman, which I think is very underrated. I love Real Steel. If you haven't seen Real Steel, you got to check it out. It's a great freaking movie. It's a beautiful movie. It's a great movie. It's a cute movie. It's a great freaking movie. I really love it. But yeah, as I said before, I have the DVD. Very underrated. Yeah, it is very underrated. I'm glad you spoke about that, Ed Morris. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, speaking of which, I'm definitely planning on watching this. Yes, it was. I'm glad we're talking about this. Yeah, he was in Real Steel. He played one of the guys that was in charge of one of the fights or something. I forgot what his character was, but he played one of the guys in charge of one of the fights. And he did a good job. Anthony Mackie's a very good actor. When I saw him as Falcon in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, in my opinion, that is the GOAT Captain America film of all time. No disrespect to the First Avenger, no disrespect to Civil War, but Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and FYI, I reviewed the comic last year. It was so damn good. But the movie, muy magnifique. Robert Redford was an incredible antagonist in that movie. Robert Redford's a great actor. Adam was the robot. Yes, he was. Adam was the robot. Yes, he was. And he was one tough cookie. One tough son of a bitch. Yes, I did like that too. Yes, he was. I'm glad. Yeah, Robert Redford. No, I gotta watch The Natural, where he played that baseball player. What was that baseball movie? That was so good. I gotta watch that too. Let me look it up. The Natural. Is it available to watch for free? So I don't want to pay for shit. I got some. The Natural, 1984 film. The Naked Gun. What the? Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Then. Did Sam Wilson become? Yes, he did. He did become, but the thing is, he's not the first black Captain America. The first black Captain America was Isaiah Bradley, who was being portrayed by Carl Lumbly in the MCU. The first black Captain America is Isaiah Bradley. Now, after Steve Rogers' apparent death at the hands of a mind-controlled Sharon Carter, I gotta pay for this shit. Fuck. Oh well, I'll see what I can do. Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, takes up the mantle of Captain America, and from what I've seen in some comics and from what I heard by a lot of fans, he did a great job. Obviously, hey Rich, what's up, buddy? Be right back. I think thought I was gonna sneeze there. But yeah, Sam Wilson does become Captain America in the comics, but that's years later. I think like a few years ago he became Captain America, and I thought it was pretty interesting. Although we were making a joke, should we call him Captain Falcon now? Because because he's still got that Falcon mantra where he's got wings and shit. I don't know. Jessica Alba or Scarlett Johansson? Oh my god. I'll take Jessica Alba. Scarlett Johansson's cute, but I'll take Jessica Alba. She was good as the Invisible Woman. Some people thought she was terrible. I thought she was good. I don't know. I'm saying okay. I actually liked the Silver. I was disappointed with it. I didn't like how they did Galactus, and I didn't like how they portrayed the Silver Surfer's powers, that it was only limited to his board. That actually pissed me off more than them turning Galactus into a fucking cloud. There were some things I didn't like about the movie either, but I don't think it is as... I do understand why some people would like it, but me, I thought it was a very disappointing movie. Yeah. I'm not saying it was bad, but I think it was disappointing. Jesus Christ. Again with this shit? Oh my god. Are you fucking serious, South Philly? They're both hot. But if I had to choose, oh god. I'd say Jennifer Love Hewitt for now, but I do have a really huge crush on Lucy Lawless. As for this stupid question, I'll take Flora. Fine. Happy now. Hmm. Fan of the Thunderbolts. I'm looking forward to it, but it's not high on my list. It's not super high. I like Sebastian Stan. I like Florence Pugh. There's quite a bit of characters that I like, but my main concern is how they're going to do Sentry. That's the key factor. How are they going to pull off Sentry? Because Sentry is probably one of the least popular characters in Marvel Comics. A lot of people consider it to be one of the worst Superman spin-offs of all time. He's not well liked by a lot of Marvel fans, tell you that much. Personally, I could take him or leave him, but I don't really crazy about the character. But anyways, it's Harrison Ford. Well, he becomes the Red Hulk, and I think he becomes mind controlled, I think. The main villain is going to be Samuel Stearns, the leader, a classic Incredible Hulk villain from the comics. And for what I've seen, based on his design, he looks like shit. But Red Hulk looks cool. Red Hulk looks dope. Yes, I did watch the Peacemaker show, and I thought it was amazing. James Gunn, to me, is a great filmmaker and a great writer. I know there are some people who don't like him. I love James Gunn. He's one of my favorite filmmakers and writers in the film industry. And it's one of the biggest reasons why I'm looking forward to a Superman movie. Funny enough, 2 weeks later, the new Fantastic Four movie comes out after James Gunn's Superman. So I hope they're good, man. Look, man, well, whether or not you're not that hyped or hyped for a film, you still got to come out hoping it's a film. Because you can walk right in thinking and then you come out really pissed off and you're like, what the hell, man? Why did I spend my hard-earned money on this crap? I really cannot wait for the new Captain America film. Comes out next Friday. I know it sounds weird for a superhero movie to come out on Valentine's Day, but hey, what the hell, man? It is what it is. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a day for now. It's great talking with you guys, and peace out.